Alrighty, what's up everyone? How's everyone doing? So today's video is going to be about the freaking Chicharron Man. One second. There's like a huge party going on over there, so then like I'm assuming that he's probably like about to get this money. Okay, today's video is going to be about when I was 16 and pregnant. And if you guys can hear a water noise, it's because that's my turtle's water, the filter in the background, so I apologize in advance for that. And I want to start off with saying that this video is not to encourage anyone to get pregnant. I'm just explaining my story and what I dealt with in my experience with being 16 and pregnant. Alright, so when I was younger, I would always go from school to school because we would move or my grades weren't good, so my mom would put me in homeschool or, you know, so and so. So I went to a high school and I was, you know, the new girl again. And going to this high school, I don't know, it just felt weird. I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't like a spot that I really enjoyed going to, but I mean, I still had to go, so what was I gonna do? So at that high school, I actually met my daughter's dad, and we honestly like got along right away. I liked him a lot because he made me laugh, and then, you know, we joked around a lot, and I don't know, the relationship was just fun all the time, you know. I would always go and hang out with him, and we would ditch sometimes. He would drive, so we would go to Target, or sometimes we would even go to the park, or he would go to my house, I could go to his house, and anywhere we went, we would actually have fun. So that was really cool. That was one of the things that I really enjoyed about him and enjoyed about our relationship. It was always goofy. And even though I'm saying was, that doesn't mean it's not right now. We still joke around with each other. We still have fun. It's just now we have our daughter. So I was actually never good with grades. So me ditching, I mean, I'm not going to say it really affected my grade. Well, it did affect my grade, but I was actually never even trying, even when I was in class, as bad as that sounds. And I did want to mention, you know, that I wasn't getting good grades because it will make sense later on in the video. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know that I actually would get very bad grades. I didn't really like school. I only went to school just to hang out or, you know, get out of the house. There was some issues going on, so I just felt comfortable being at school or just being with my daughter's dad. So and if you guys see me looking down, it's because I've already tried filming this video once before. I did not like how it came out, so I kind of wrote like a little list based off on how I'm going to be saying everything, because do you guys want some chicharrones or paleta? You know, he's right outside. Okay. Okay, so anyways, back to what I was saying. We would ditch, we would go out, we would have fun. We would ditch, well, I would ditch sometimes 4 periods. I had 6 in total, and I would ditch 4, and I know that's a lot, and I'm kind of trying to make it sound like, oh, you know, like 4 periods is nothing, but for me, it was just kind of like, I knew I still had to make an appearance at school, so I still showed up. So that's why I still would go for those last 2 periods. And then the very last period, the 6th period, I actually had with my daughter's dad. So that was one that we would be together in anyways. One day, stuff happened and I got pregnant. However, that was really awkward saying, just to let everyone know. I don't know why it's awkward for me, and it's maybe funny for you guys. I actually did not know I was pregnant for a couple of months, and the reason was because my stomach was actually very small. I never had any signs of being pregnant. I did have one sign, but the reason why I didn't think I was pregnant was because my clothes still fit me. I was still small, and my periods are irregular, and I know that's like TMI for those of you who don't like hearing about periods, but they were irregular, so it was kind of like normal for me, you know, the way that my cycle was going while I was pregnant. So there was nothing that I felt I needed to worry about. However, the only reason why I actually thought that I was pregnant was because I would wake up at night or like in the morning and my stomach would be hard, and I know that it's so weird to think like, oh, that's that one sign that made me think I was pregnant, but that was the only sign that I could really tell you guys, you know. I did feel nauseous a lot, but I didn't throw up a lot while I was pregnant. The funny thing is that it was actually my daughter's dad who would get the symptoms. That happens sometimes. A lot of people don't believe in it, but seriously, I believe in it because it happened to him. Like, those symptoms hit him hard. So yeah, so I only thought I was pregnant because my stomach would be hard, and I actually told my uncle's girlfriend, hey, like, I have this suspicion, can we go and get a pregnancy test? It took us a little while to actually go because my uncle's very strict, and so I wasn't gonna tell him I was trying to get a pregnancy test. My uncle's kind of like my brother, and I have 2 uncles. I have more than 2 uncles, but those 2 ones are my main ones. But I knew he would have, I don't even know what he would have done if I would have even told him I was just trying to get a pregnancy test. So I'm really glad I didn't. I don't want to know what he would have done. So yeah, so I told her if she could take me, and then finally when we got the chance, we went to the store and we bought a pregnancy test. Sorry, something came up. Okay, so I got a pregnancy test. I took it at the store, and my uncle's girlfriend at the time was like a sister to me, and she still, I still have her back if she needs something, you know. So she supported me in going. She made sure not to tell anyone, and we went. I took the test, and as soon as I peed on that test, it came out positive. Like, there was no waiting a couple of minutes like the box says. It came out positive right away. And I remember being still in the stall and telling her, it says it's positive. And she was just like, no way, like, you're joking. And I opened the stall and I show it to her, and she was just in shock. And she's all like, okay, well, pregnancy tests are kind of more accurate when you really have to go pee, so how about you take the second one, because a pregnancy test actually comes with 2 tests. So she says, how about you take the second one in the morning. So we go back to the car, and she talked to me. Like I said, she was like a sister to me, and she was just saying that she didn't really want me to have the same path as, you know, my family, because my mom was a teen parent and my grandma was a teen parent, and she kind of was just telling me that she thought I was gonna break, you know, that chain. And she was also helping me by telling me, so I'll try to help you schedule an appointment, you know, I'll help you find these and these numbers, and we'll try to get you in, you know. So I don't know, I was trying to schedule an appointment to go and see a doctor, but I was never really alone. So I feel like in my mind I was trying to put it off to go and see one. I felt like I was still thinking like, no, you know, like I'm not pregnant, even though the pregnancy test came out positive. So then the next morning I take the other test and it was positive too. And I remember being like, oh wow, like how am I gonna tell my mom? And my mom is a single parent, so she raised me on her own, so I didn't need to go and tell, you know, a guy figure. And I just held it off. I told my daughter's dad. He was very supportive. He was actually happy. And I know that this may sound really bad, but I wasn't expecting him to be in my daughter's life. I'm not saying he's a bad person or anything, but just I've been around a lot of relationships, and not my personal relationships, but other people's relationships, and you know, the guy just kind of leaves. Just like, I don't know. My dad wasn't around, so I wasn't expecting her dad to be around either. And he was just like, no, like, I'm gonna help you out. This is my daughter too. I want us, you know, to have this family. And that was the plan. We were gonna have my daughter. I wasn't gonna do any abortions or anything because I wanted to have my daughter. So he just said, wait to tell your mom until I'm with you. And I don't remember what was going on at that time, but for some reason he couldn't come to the house. I don't know if I was grounded or he had also gotten a surgery. I don't know if he was on bed rest. I don't really remember. But I remember it was at least over a week before my mom found out. And the only reason she found out was because I actually woke up one morning. I had to throw up. And so I go to the bathroom, you know, I do my thing, and I come back and my mom kind of cracks the door and she just goes, "You're pregnant, huh?" And I told her, "Yeah, I'm pregnant." And she started crying a little bit, and then she just goes, "Okay, well, you know, we have to schedule this appointment, and you know, we got to get this process going because you're gonna have the baby." And I told her, yes, I am going to have the baby. It was never in my mind to have an abortion or anything. I am gonna have this baby. We scheduled an appointment. I go in and the doctors ask me, "How many months are you?" And I tell them, I don't know, I'm about maybe 3-4 months. Because me, once I took the test, I must have been around 3, probably heading on to 4 months. But since I waited a couple weeks to tell my mom that I was pregnant, you know, obviously I wasn't gonna, I don't know exactly how many months I was. So, like I said, my period's irregular, so they couldn't count on my period either to tell me, because I was still kind of having it here and then while I was pregnant. So I told them, and they were just like, "There's no way that you are 3 or 4 months. You probably are like 1 month." They're like, "You're not showing at all. So we're gonna do this and this ultrasound." And I said, "Okay, that's fine." So I go into the ultrasound, and my daughter did not look like she was 1 month old, or old, 1 month in the belly, I don't know. And a 1-month fetus. And I remember the doctor was shocked. She was just like, okay, yeah, you were right. You are 4 months. So then, you know, they had me go into another doctor's office to say, oh, you know, you have the right to, you know, do what you would like to do with this pregnancy. And I told them, you know, I'm gonna go all the way. And yeah, that was the plan. So we go out, we tell my mom that I'm 4 months pregnant, and she is in shock too. She goes, how? Like, she's not showing. And I remember her and the doctor were just talking for a little bit about how it did not look like I was pregnant. And that was pretty much it. From there, we just scheduled more appointments. I think the next appointment was gonna be to find out the gender and everything, because I was so far along that I could already. So what do you want?
I want to do the chicken nugget challenge.
I guess the next video is a chicken nugget challenge.
You're gonna take me out, right?
You're not in it. You're just your voice. Oh my god. Okay, so my mom just walked in. Okay, so yeah, I was so far along that I could schedule the appointments for my daughter to, to find out what the gender is. And then I remember I had to move because there was no space for me, my daughter, and my daughter's dad to be living there. So I had to move. I packed up my stuff and I went to his house. But we only stayed there for a little bit, and the reason why I moved, there was the reason of me not there not being room there for us, but I wasn't supposed to move as quick as I did. I actually moved sooner because my uncle was actually very upset with me. He stopped talking to me, he was ignoring me, and my uncle is like my brother. Like I said, I have 2 uncles. One of them was in jail, and then there was that one that was mad at me. So his birthday was coming up, and I remember I didn't want to be there because I knew that if I was there, he wasn't gonna celebrate his birthday with, you know, the family. So I decided to move so that he would celebrate it with everyone, because I didn't want to be the one person to keep him from celebrating his birthday with everyone. It actually hurt when I left. It hurt when he wasn't talking to me, and it sucked. So yeah, so I moved, and I remember his birthday comes up, and I tell him happy birthday through a text message, and I let him know, you know, I love you and everything, and that I know he was upset with me. He didn't reply. He ignored my message. I saw that he saw it because, I mean, you could see. And so it sucked just seeing that he was just ignoring me. But I understood. I understood he was upset with me. So the appointment comes to where we find out the gender, and my daughter's dad went with me, and we were both so happy. He wanted a girl. I was down for a girl or a boy. I did not mind, and I was just so happy. I don't know, it was like everyone in the moment was like disappointed in me, but then I'm kind of like, you know what, I need to move forward, and I just don't care what anyone has to say. I'm gonna have my own family. I don't need to care about what, you know, other people have to say. So then we actually moved from his parents' house back to my mom's house because my uncle that was not talking to me got locked up, so his room was available. So we go back, we move in there, and from then on, you know, everyone was kind of like, okay, excited, like, okay, she's gonna have her baby, everything's gonna be fine. Like, I felt like I had support. After that, I remember I would go and visit my other uncle, who wasn't locked up also. I would go and visit him a lot, and I would go. So he was on like another level, and like on the, I don't know how to describe, on like on the second story, I guess you would say, and then my other uncle was on the bottom. So my grandma would visit my other uncle, the one that wasn't talking to me, and then I would visit the one that, you know, never stopped talking to me. And I remember one day I was going downstairs because I had just finished my visit with my uncle, and my grandma was just coming out of her visit with the uncle that was not talking to me. And it was his girlfriend. I'm assuming they were together again. It was his girlfriend coming out with my grandma as well. So my grandma tells me, you have to go in that room, you have to talk to him, he is your family. And I told her, but I am not the one who decided to stop talking. It was him, it was not me. I kept trying, and I was just kind of tired. I was like, I accepted the point. I accepted the fact that our relationship wasn't going to be the same anymore. So she still forces me to go inside of the room. I wasn't really forced. She's just like, just go, you know? And I go in, and the first thing that happened was I start crying. We both got emotional. And then it was just like, we were good, and we just started talking like nothing had ever happened. And I really needed that, because I mean, it sucked when he wasn't talking to me. He, like I said, he's like my brother, and it really hurt when he didn't talk to me. Like, that was the first time he's ever not talked to me. We never really argued. We were just close. So it was like nothing had happened, and I remember feeling so relieved when I got out of that, or not appointment, out of that visit. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I can talk to him again. So we head out of the visit, and then, you know, months go by, and I had to get it like induced because my daughter did not want to come out. There was nothing wrong with her, it was just I had to get induced. I had to go in, and then they were just, you know, gonna try to see which ways they can do, or they can help me to open up the cervix for her to start, you know, coming out. And I'm losing my train of thought here. And we already had everything ready in our room. We were gonna all have us, you know, just sleep in the same room. I didn't have a baby shower. There was just so much family drama going on that I couldn't have it here, and that it wasn't gonna happen here, and so that, I mean, that kind of killed it for me. But I mean, it was what it is. People still came over, and they still gifted me diapers. They still gifted me clothes for my daughter, which I thank you guys for that. I also forgot to mention, I thank my uncle's ex-girlfriend. Thank you for taking me to get that test, because without that test, I don't know when I would have found out, or if my mom would have given me that idea, and then it would have been awkward, because I would have been like, oh, I don't know, maybe I am pregnant, you know? So thank you. So yeah, so we were gifted a lot of things, and we started preparing for my daughter. And I remember my grandma gifted me a bassinet because that's what fit in the room. The room was kind of small, and we got blankets, and we were just prepared for her. We got the car seat and everything going. So the date comes to get induced, and that is where I actually want to continue this story, because I want to give you guys the story of my labor and delivery. So if you guys like this video, please make sure to comment. Also, one more thing before I end it. I know that there's a lot of people who don't like watching these videos, and you didn't have to sit through the whole thing. I'm just saying my experience, and I don't like seeing teen parents get really judged, because we all go through some major stuff. We all have to deal with a lot, trust me. And just, we don't really need more negativity coming from what other people think about us being a teen parent. You guys could just, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it at all. And honestly, I am happy that I was a teen parent, because before I had my daughter, I wanted to drop out of school. I had bad grades, and then as soon as I had my daughter, or actually when I found out I was pregnant, I went into homeschool and I got A's and B's, and I graduated high school, and then I went on to college and I graduated college as well. So without my daughter, I would not be in the place that I am today. So being a teen parent, I'm not saying you guys should go and do it. I'm just saying that it changed my life dramatically. So thank you for watching this video. Alright, you guys, so I actually forgot to mention that my daughter's dad didn't get to have the opportunity that I had. He actually did drop out of school. But he's that type of person who honestly didn't need school. He's doing so much better. He's doing really great in his life. He's, I don't know, really successful. There's a lot of people that he actually did go to school with who did graduate, who aren't, I don't want to bash anyone, but who aren't as successful as he is. And yeah, so yeah, he didn't get that opportunity, but just because he didn't get that opportunity doesn't mean he's not doing great. He's doing great in his life. He's fine with the fact that he dropped out. He didn't like school either. But yeah, he's just those people that don't need school.